Okay, let's start this today's session. In the last session, we have started the second problem on analysis of beam, right? So this was a problem, okay, where the beam was given, horizontal beam was given, which was fixed at one end, and at other end it was provided with the roller support, fixed support, right? To other end we have fixed support. For length of 5 meter, there is no any loading, and for rest of the 5 meter, we have uniformly distributed load with the intensity 1 kilonewton per meter. Okay, this they have given as beam number 1. This they have given as beam number 2. Okay, so moment of inertia for every beam it was given. At the same time, single value of E was given, right? That means both the beams, whether it's 1 or 2, they are made up of the same material. Okay, so in order to start with the problem, what we have done, okay, so as I told you, what convention we used to follow, okay, every linear displacement is upward and that is positive, and every angular displacement is in anti-clockwise direction and that is positive, right? So v1, v2, v3, they are the linear displacements in vertical direction at node 1, node 2, node 3. Similarly, theta 1, theta 2, theta 3, they are the angular displacements at node 1, node 2, and node 3, right? Now, as you know, every node will have 2 degrees of freedom. One is linear and second is angular. So 1 indicates v1, 2 indicates theta 1. Similarly, 3 indicates v2, 4 indicates theta 2. Similarly, 5 indicates v3, 6 indicates theta 3. So in order to start, we have checked with the units. E was given in gigapascal, I was given in mm raised to power 4, length was given in meter, and force was given in kilonewton per meter. So if this is a case, okay, we can convert this gigapascal into pascal, mm raised to power 4 into meter raised to power 4, meter to meter we will keep same, and kilonewton per meter we will convert into newton per meter. Okay, so okay, then only we can proceed. Otherwise, second option is this: you keep E in gigapascal, mm raised to power 4, you keep it as mm raised to power 4, then meter you convert into mm, or kilo and kilonewton per meter you convert into kilonewton per mm. Okay, so what we have done, we have followed first method, right? So in order to convert that mm raised to power 4, okay, how to convert mm to meter, multiply by 10 raised to power minus 3, and it's fourth power. So this becomes 10 raised to power minus 12. So we got this value in meter raised to power 4, right? So these units we have put, right, converted. Then we have started writing the element stiffness matrices. So formula was EI by L cube, 12, 6L, 6L, 4L square, right? So this was the formula. So in this formula, we have put the value of E, I, and L. Okay, E was E, which was in gigapascal, we converted into pascal, right? Then I, which was in mm raised to power 4, we converted into meter raised to power 4. Length, we have keep it in meter only, and okay, this matrix we got, right? So this term, when we calculate, it was coming to be 3.2 into 10 raised to power 4. 10 raised to power 4, we keep it out. Rest of the 3.2 we are multiplied inside. So we got this matrix. If you see this matrix, it is written for element number 1, which are having degrees of freedom 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 average, right? Next, we are same exercise we are repeat. Okay, repeated for the element number 2, and this term was coming to be 1.6 into 10 raised to power 4. So 10 raised to power 4, I keep it outside, and rest of the 1.6 I multiplied inside. So this was a matrix which I got, right? If you see this element number 2, which is between 2 and 3, degrees of freedom are 3, 4, 5, 6. So 3, 4, 5, 6 accordingly done. Now, once I have the element stiffness matrices, I proceed with the global stiffness matrices. Okay, so there are 3 nodes. Each node can move in 2 directions. So 3 into 2 is 6. You can check. Last degree of freedom is 6. So I got this size as 6 by 6. Okay, so I have marked 6 rows, 6 columns, right? I pick this element stiffness matrices for 1, I place it here. Similarly, I pick the element matrices for 2, I place it here. So I got these are the global stiffness matrices. After that, okay, now see, this is what you can say. This is a difference, okay, between whatever the previous problem we have solved and this problem. Okay, so this was a uniformly distributed load. I supposed to convert that uniformly distributed load into point load. Okay, so 1 kilonewton per meter it is acting at on 5 meter. Okay, so 1 kilonewton per meter, when it acts on a 5 meter, so it intensity becomes 1 into 5, right? 1 into 5. So we will convert this kilonewton to newton. That means this is 1000. So this is 1000 will act on 5 meter, so it becomes 5000. So 5000 we will split, okay, half at node 2. You can see Okay, out of this 5,000, we will split half at node 2 and half at node 3. So at node 2, it will be 2,500. At node 3, it will be 2,500, right? So obviously, okay, it will act in a downward direction. So that direction I've considered, right? So in addition to these forces, obviously, okay, some angular displacement will also be there. And due to that, the moment will be generated, right? And that moment, when it is in clockwise, in order to balance this clockwise, okay, anti-clockwise movement will be produced. And how to calculate the intensity of that? It is given by QL square by 12, right? So Q is this intensity, it is 1000. It is acting on which length? 5, length is 5, so 5 square divided by 12. So it was coming to be 2083.33. Similarly, here it is coming to be 2083.33, right? So we got this. Now we need to write down force matrices. Okay, so 4 matrices, again, 1 column, okay, and 6 rows we will get, right? So I have written 1 column, 6 rows. Okay, you can see here at node 1, there is no any force. Okay, there is no any force or there is no any movement. So no force, that's why this is 0. No movement, that's why this is 0. Now go to node 2. So node 2, we have the force that is in downward direction. So this is in downward, this is in upward. So I need to take the minus sign. So this is minus 2,500, right? Next, this is in clockwise, this is in anti-clockwise. So direction are reversed. Okay, and value is 2083.33. So I need to take it minus. You can see this is clock, this is anti-clockwise. So sign is minus. And what is intensity? 2083.3. Next, this is upward, this force is downward. So I need to take minus sign. And what is the intensity? 2,500, right? Next, this is clockwise, this is again clockwise. So both signs are same. So this is plus. And what is intensity? 2083.3. Try to understand. F1, M1, F2, M2, F3, M3, like that, right? See here, there is nothing. So 0, 0. Here it is this term, okay, and this term. Here it is this term and this term, okay. So here both are 0, 0, 0. You write down. After that, you write down this term. After that, you write down this term. Then you write down this term. Then you write down this term. Then we need to give the signs. See, this is upward. This is downward. So this is minus. Okay. This is clockwise. Sorry, this is anti-clockwise. This is clockwise. So this is minus. Next, this is upward, this is downward. So this is minus. You can see this is minus. Then this is clockwise. Sorry, this is anti-clockwise. This is again anti-clockwise. So both are plus. So you can see this is plus. So is it okay with this one? Is it okay? See, I tried to summarize what we have covered in the last lecture. Is it okay? Let me know. Is that okay? You can respond. Right. So now we'll write down global matrix equation, right? Global matrix into displacement is given by force, right? Global matrix into displacement is given by force. We have these global matrices. Okay, so I'll just copy that matrices here on, right? So 10 raised to power 4 is outside. 10 raised to power 4 is outside. Then what is remaining? It's 38.4. Okay, 96 minus 38.4, 96, 0, 0. Then 96. 320 minus 96, 160, 0, 0. Then minus 38.4 minus 96. Next 38.4 plus 19.2. 38.4 plus 19.2. So it will come as 57.6, right? Then 48 minus 96. Okay, 48 minus 96. That will come minus 48, right? Then minus 19.2, then 48, right? Just here, then here it is 96, 160, 48 minus 96. Again, this is minus 48. Then 320 plus 160, okay, it will come as 480. Okay, this is 480. Then minus 48 and 80. Next, 0, 0. Yeah, I'll just wait that. Yeah. So then 0, 0, okay, minus 19.2, minus 48, 19.2, and minus 48. Right. Next, 0, 0, 48, 80, minus 48, and 160. Right. So this matrices I just written. Okay, this is global matrices, which we already formed in the last lecture. This is to be multiplied by displacement. Okay, so we have the displacement, right? V1, theta 1, V2, theta 2, okay, V3, theta 3. Okay, so these are the displacements. You can see, okay, you can see here, right? V1, V2, V3, theta 1, theta 2, theta 3. But when we write down, we should write down with respect to node. With respect to node 1, it's V1, theta 1. With respect to node 2, it is V2, theta 2. With respect to node 3, it is V3, theta 3. Okay, so in the same sequence, right? Okay, so is equal to forces and moments, right? F1, M1, okay, F2, M2, okay, F3, M3, right? F3. Okay, now we are interested to solve this equation, right? Now we are supposed to solve this equation. Okay, but see, all of you, see, these are the point loads, right? These are the point loads. So in addition to these point loads, try to understand, in addition to these points load, we also have this, okay, uniformly distributed loads, which we have converted into point load, right? So this, okay, see, this is a matrices, right? Force column. And also I need to combine this with here. Okay, so I'll just write down those things here. Okay, so is, okay, so this, you can see this F1 plus 0. I'll just write down F1 plus 0. Here again M1 plus 0, right? Here F2 minus 2500. Try to understand. Then here M2 minus 2083.33. Next F3 minus 2500. Okay, and this is plus 2083.33. Try to understand. Okay, now I will close this bracket. Okay, now I will close this bracket. Try to understand. I purposefully made this. Okay, now this will complete the bracket, right? Because see, this was the initial force matrix. Now we have clubbed it with this one. Okay, because this will take care of, okay, only on the point loads. Okay, and this we have converted the uniformly distributed load into point load, so it will be considered by this particular column, right? Now let us solve it. So in order to solve, okay, how we'll solve it? So for solving, what we'll do, okay, we will impose the boundary condition, right? So node 1 is fixed. That means V1 and theta 1 is 0, right? Node 1 is fixed. Okay, so that means what we can do is we'll make V1 and theta 1 as 0. Okay, so try to understand. So we'll make V1 as 0, we'll make theta 1 as 0, right? Because it is fixed. See, at node 1, the structure is fixed, so V1 and theta 1 is 0. Similarly, at node 3, it is again fixed. See, it is fixed. So again, V3 and theta 3 is 0, right? So again, what happens? This V3 is 0. At the same time, theta 3 is again 0, right? V3 is 0, theta 3 is 0. So see, when any displacement gets 0, what happens is that particular row and that particular column gets cancelled. So first row, first column, second row, second column, okay, fifth row, fifth column, and sixth row, sixth column gets cancelled, right? Sixth row, sixth columns gets cancelled. Now try to understand. Okay. Now see, now we need to solve this equation, right? We are interested to get the value of V2 and theta 2. So if you want to get the value of V2 and theta 2, you should know F2 and M2. F2 and M2, right? F2 and M2. Try to understand. F2 and M2. So see, is there any force which is applied at node 2? You can see, is there any point load like this? Okay, which is going downward at node 2? Or is there any movement like 3 kilonewton meter, 4 kilonewton meter is applied at node 2 here, at this point. Okay, as at this point in the problem, is there any point load is given? Okay, like say 10 kilonewton is going downward, or is there any movement is given at this particular point in clockwise or anti-clockwise direction? No, right? So no any movement is given, or no any force is given at node 2. Okay, so see here you remember, okay, this F2 is equal to 0, as well as moment at node 2 is equal to 0, because it is not given in the problem. You can see here, is there any point load like this? It is given at node 2? No. Is there any movement in clockwise or anti-clockwise movement? It is given at this particular point? No. Right? What they have given? They have given only uniformly distributed load. They haven't given any point load, okay, or any movement in the problem. Okay, at node 2. Okay. So what I'll do, I'll just make this F2 equal to 0. Okay. Here only I will mention. Okay, F2 is equal to 0, as well as M2 is also equal to 0. Okay, F2 and M2, they are equal to 0. Okay, F2 and M2, they are equal to 0. right? So let us solve this equation now. Okay, we have the system of two equations with the two unknowns that we are supposed to solve, right? So how to solve this? Okay, what we'll do is, okay, we'll just go to this one. Okay, calculator. Okay, we'll go to the mode. Okay, we'll go to the solve system equations, two unknowns. Okay, we'll start putting the values. So, but you keep in mind, every term we need to multiply by 10 raised to the power 4, right? So 57.6 into shift 10 raised to power 4, then minus 48 into shift 10 raised to power 4, minus 48 into 10 raised to power 4, right? Minus 2500, right? Minus 48 into 10 raised to power 4, then 480 10 raised to power 4. You can see that is equal to minus 2083.33. 2083. Okay, so we'll just solve this well. We'll just solve it. So you can see what answer for V2 we are getting. Okay, you can just see this. Okay, for answer for V2, what we are getting is minus 0.00051. Okay, is in mm. Okay, this is V2. And next variable, it's a theta 2, right? So that theta 2 we are getting as minus 0.00009 radian. Okay, its units is radian because it's a theta, right? So its unit is radian. Right? So let us solve. Okay, so see, once we solve this in a calculator, okay, so how you'll put this 57.6 into 10 to the power 4 minus 48 into 10 to the power 4, and this value you will put it as f2 is 0, so it is minus 2500. Okay, again here minus 48 into 10 to the power 4, 480 into 10 to the power 4, and this value you will put it as m2 is 0, so it is minus 2083.33. So when we put, we will get these values. Is it okay? Let me know. Is that okay? Is that okay or not? Let me know. Is it okay with this one? Okay, you can respond. Now let us calculate the reactions. Let us calculate the reactions, right? So point where the displacement is 0, at that point we will get the reactions, right? So U1 is 0, we will get F1, right? So how to get F1? Okay, so in order to get the F1, what we used to do is we need to have the first row multiplied by this column, right? So first row, okay, it is 10 raised to power 4. Okay, you need not to forgot about this one. 10 raised to power 4 is outside. First row into this column, right? First row into this column. So when you'll do, okay, initial two terms, there is no need to multiply. See, initial two terms are 0, last two terms are 0. Okay, so you forgot about these two and these two, right? There is no point, right? This into the, see, if you go like this into this is 0, this into this is 0. Again, last, okay, so you need to focus only on these middle two terms. Okay, so this is minus 38.4 into V2 plus 96 theta 2 is equal to F1 minus F1 plus 0. You can see this one. See, minus 38.4 V2 plus 96 theta 2, okay, is equal to F1 plus 0. Okay, so when we put these values, okay, so let us see how much force value we got. See, V2 is known, theta 2 is known. Okay, so if you calculate F1, okay, when you calculate F1, all of you just do this calculation. F1, just do that. F1, do this one. Let's do this calculation. F1. Do this. F1 calculation, you do it. Let me know what value of F1 you are getting. All of it, just do this calculation, F1. You can tell me what value of F1 you are getting. So you will get somewhat like this, 10, okay, 94.6, 1094.6 Newton. Okay, so this value of F1 you will get. F1 you will get it 1094.6. Now let us go for M1. How will you do that? First, second row by this column, right? Second row by this column. Initial two terms will be 0. So I'll just keep 10 raised to power 4 outside. 10 raised to power 4, I'll keep it outside. Okay, minus 96 into, see, minus 96 into V2, minus 96 into B2, plus 160 into theta 2 is equal to M1 plus 0, M1 plus 0, M1 plus 0, right? So if you just calculate this value of M1, okay, just put this V2, you put theta 2 and get the value of M1. It will come as 3456 Newton meter. 3456 Newton meter, right? This value, right? Now let us go for this F3. Okay, F3. Okay, fifth row by this column. Okay, so again I will go 10 raised to power 4. I will keep it outside. Okay, minus 19.2 V2, minus 48 theta 2. Okay, is equal to, see, minus 19.2 V2 minus 48 theta 2. Okay, is equal to F3 minus 2500. F3 minus 2500. Right? So from this, if you calculate, okay, so value of F3, okay, you will get it as 3911. Okay, just see this one, 3911. Okay, 0.4 Newton, 0.4 Newton. You'll get some value like this. Okay, is it okay or not? Now let us go for this M3, calculation of M3. So last row by this column, right? So what we'll get, 10 raised to power 4 is outside. Okay, 48 into V2, 48 into V2 plus 80 into theta 2 plus 80 into theta 2 is equal to M3 plus 2083.3, right? So from this we'll get some value of M3. Okay, M3 we will get some value. Okay, so it will come as minus 5251.33 Newton meter. Newton meter, right? Now see, once we have these reactions, okay, what we'll do, we will try to check the summation of the forces, okay, in y direction. Okay, and those forces, as we know, they are the see, these are the forces. Now this is F1 plus 0. Okay, so this is one force, F1 plus 0 plus, I should write down, F2 minus 2500 plus F3 minus 2500. Okay, you can't like write like F1 plus F2 plus F3. No. See, this is a total force, F1 plus 0. Second is F2 minus 2500. Third is again F3 minus 2500. So that total term you should consider, right? So F1, it is 1094.6 plus 0 plus F2. See, F2 is 0. You can see F2 is 0. So this is 0 minus 2500 plus F3 we calculated 3911.4, okay, minus 2500. Okay, so if you just see this, if you add this summation will approximately equal to 0. Okay, it will not be exactly equal to 0, it will be approximately equal to 0, right? So this is all about summation of the forces. So summation of the forces is tending to 0. That means whatever the answers that we got, they are correct, right? Now let us calculate the summation of the movement about z axis, and I will tell you this will not be equal to 0, right? Summation will never be equal to 0. So how to count that? Again, M1 plus 0, okay, plus M2 minus 2083.33 plus M3 plus 2083.33, right? Plus M3 plus 2083.33. So let us do this calculation, right? M1 is 3456 plus 0 plus M2, see, M2 no movement I applied at node 2, so it is 0 minus 2083.33 plus M3 is this one minus 5251.33 plus 2083.33, right? So when we'll calculate, okay, this will comes to be minus 1795.33 Newton meter. Okay, this will comes to be this one, right? Okay, now see. Okay, let us draw the diagram. Okay, let us draw the diagram. Okay, see, this was a diagram given. Okay, so as I told you, the summation of the moment will not be equal to 0, right? So see, this was a diagram given. Okay, here it is fixed. Okay, here it is fixed. Here we have that again fixed. Okay, and for this length, okay, we have uniformly distributed load. Okay, so that was a uniformly distributed load. For this length, it was uniformly distributed load. Okay, which we have converted into point load. Okay, which we have converted into point load. Okay, so see here. So this uniformly distributed load we have converted into point load. So how much it was coming at this node? It was coming as 2500, and at this node it was coming as 2500. So for total 5000 was acting downward, right? So total 5000 was acting downward. So in order to balance, okay, I'll just show you. Okay, so this uniformly distributed load we have converted this into point load, right? So uniformly distributed load we have converted into point load, right? Now see, in order to balance this downward load of 5000, what happened? The reaction at node 1, how much it was generated? You can see that. You can see what reaction is generated at node 1. Okay, I'll just highlight that. What reaction is generated at node 1 here? Okay, it was generated as 1094.6. It was generated. You can see at node 1, 1094.6 was generated. At node 3, okay, how much was generated here? Okay, 3911.4 Newton was generated, right? See, this was in Newton, 2500, right? This was in Newton, right? See, try to understand the problem. See, in this problem, only uniformly distributed load was required. So, okay, so what we have done, we have converted this uniformly distributed load into point load. Okay, so when see, so on every node, how much will go? 2500 and 2500, right? So in order to balance this 5000, okay, what happens? At node 1, 1094.6 was generated, and at node 3, 3911.4 was generated. Is that okay? Yes or no? Let me know. Is that okay or not? Is it okay?
Okay, sir.
Yeah. So now see, this is all about the forces. Okay, this is a condition of equilibrium that is being satisfied, right? Now see, when you go here at node 1, okay, what is the moment? You can say it's a positive. That means it's an anti-clockwise. Okay, positive. Okay, positive, right? You can see this one movement. It's a positive coming, right? That means it is anti-clockwise. Okay, so that movement I will just highlight here. Okay. So that movement was anti-clockwise at node 1. You can see. Okay, this movement at node 1 we have calculated 3456. Okay, 3456 Newton meter. Okay, M1 is a movement at node 1. Okay, it is positive. That means it's anti-clockwise, right? Now what is the movement at node 2? Okay, there is no any movement. What is movement at node 3? Okay, so this is the movement at node 3. Okay, this is the movement at node 3. What is that? 50. Okay, you can see this. Movement at node 3 is minus. See, movement at node 3. You can see M1, what is M1? M1 we have calculated, right? Okay. M2 it is 0. There is no any movement. And M3 we have calculated. And that is, you can see M3, it is in minus. That means it is clockwise. Right, so this is in clockwise. Okay. And what is the intensity of this movement? M3, it is 52, 51, 52, 51.33. 5251.33 Newton meter. 5251.33 Newton per meter. Now try to understand. See, this is going, okay, as 3, 4, 5, 6, okay, which is in anti-clockwise, and at node 3, okay, 5251.33 is in clockwise. Okay, so what is unbalanced movement which is remaining in the system? It is, okay, minus 1795.33. You can see you can see this 2500 and 2500 which is going downward. So total going is 5000. So this 5000, it gets balanced by the addition of these two upward, that is 1094.6 plus 3911. This will be get balanced, but movement will not be get balanced, because at node 1 3 4 5 6 movement was produced, that is in anti-clockwise. At node 3, okay, 5251.33 movement was produced, that is in clockwise. Now if you just take, okay, if you just take the addition, that addition will comes to be minus 1795.33. Okay, try to understand. So what is what you can say? Minus 1795.33. This is the unbalanced movement. This is the unbalanced movement. Is that okay? Says or not? Is that okay or not? Is it clear with this one? So see, this is unbalanced movement. This is the unbalanced movement. Okay, so if you just take the summation of the movement, it will not be equal to 0. It will not be equal to 0, right? So this movement we need to balance. Okay, this movement we need to balance. All right, see, there is unbalance, then only this beam will bend, right? There is unbalance, then only the movement will, this beam will bend. Is it okay with this one? Is it okay? This one? Now see, if we need to balance this system, see, there is unbalance of, see, here it is in anti-clockwise 3, 4, 5, 6. In clockwise, this is 5251.33. So if we just take their addition, it will come as 1795.33. Okay, which is in which direction? Which is in minus sign. Minus sign, it means it will be in clockwise direction. Clockwise. Okay, so there is a unbalance of 1795.33 movement. Okay, so this much movement is unbalanced. Minus is unbalanced. So if you need to make it balance, try to understand. Very important, I'm telling you. If you want to make it balance, what we need to do is we need to produce a movement of same magnitude but with the different direction. Yes. So we need to produce it in a clockwise manner. Okay. See, this is minus. Okay. See what is minus indicates? Minus indicates it is a clockwise. Okay. Minus indicate it's a clockwise. Okay. So minus indicate it's a clockwise. So this is clockwise. But in order to balance this unclockwise movement, which is unbalanced, we need to produce the same movement of equal magnitude but with the different direction. So what I will do, I will now change its arrow. Okay. So I will just have it. Okay. So see, this is minus. Minus indicates it's a clockwise. Okay. Minus indicates it's a clockwise, right? So what I will do, I will produce an anti-clockwise. I will produce a anti-clockwise movement. So what I will do, I will just now erase this arrow here only. Okay. I'll just make, okay, one additional movement here. Okay. So here only I will make it, but this is not happening. We need to produce it. So this is 1795.33. We need to produce it. Now, if you just take addition of these two, it will be equal to 5251.3. Is it okay or not? See, this was unbalanced. This was unbalanced, which was in clockwise. So in order to balance this clockwise, I have produced anti-clockwise of the same magnitude. Is it okay? Okay. But let me know. See, this is beyond the scope. Okay, this is required to be produced. Okay, if you produce this one, okay, then only the system will be in equilibrium. Then only system will be in equilibrium. Okay. So with the forces, the system is in equilibrium, but with the movement, it is not in equilibrium. So we need to produce a movement, okay, of anti-clockwise, okay, of the same magnitude, but with a different direction. So is it okay with this one? Is it okay?
Yes.
So see, I was about to start the new problem, okay, but again it will not be get covered. Okay, so I thought of just brief you about this problem once again. Okay, so in the next lecture only we will be able to start one more problem. So you know, it will take 1 hour to complete, right? And some parts will be get like half parts only will be get solved. Okay, so that is the reason. Okay, so this was the problem which was given, right? Okay. So is there any doubt or difficulty you're facing with this one? Whatever the problem, half problem we have solved in the last lecture, half we have solved in this lecture.
So ये
Is there
10
any
marks
problem?
का आएगा.
Yes, yes. Every numerical which I'm taking, it is from university examination. It is for minimum 10 marks, maximum 12 marks. Every numerical which is being taken, it is from university exam. Okay, it is maximum for 10 marks. Okay, minimum for 10 marks, maximum will be for 12 marks. Right?
एग्जाम में आप जो न्यूमेरिकल करा रहे हो इसी मतलब सेम आएगा क्या मतलब अलग पैटर्न में आएगा?
Yes, yes. Same sort of numericals will be asked. There will be some variation in the values, some boundary conditions, right? So that will happen.
अच्छा.
Yes, yes. So see, all of you. So see, one additional problem is also there. Okay, one more problem I will just highlight you. Okay, how to solve it. Okay, because it's the same sort of problem, right? It's the same sort of problem. I will not go into the detail of that problem. That you can solve it. Okay, because same loading is there. Okay, same loading is there. So I will just bring that problem. Okay. See, still, if you have any doubt with this one, you can let me know. I will just fastly brief you about this problem. Okay, so this numerical they were asked in the university exam again. Okay, so find the deflection at the node. Find the deflection at the node and reactions at the support and reactions at the support for the beam shown in figure. For the beam shown in figure. Okay, so you just see what problem is. Okay, at one end it is fixed, right? At one end it is fixed. Okay, so this is the beam given. Okay, here they have roller. Okay, also here they have ruler. Right? So we have this loading like this, right? Where intensity is 12 kilonewton per meter. 12 kilonewton per meter. Okay. This length they have given as 1 meter. This length again they have given as 1 meter. Okay, value of E is given as 200 gigapascal. I is given as 4 into 10 raised to power 4 mm raised to power mm raised to power. Right. Find the deflection at the nodes and the reactions at the support for the beam shown in figure. So these are the problem. Now, can you tell me how we can proceed with this one? Anybody? Can you tell me how to proceed for such sort of problem? Yes, how to proceed? Okay, what we'll do, we will simply form the elements. Okay, so we'll get how many elements? We get 2 elements. This is element number 1, this is element number 2. So we'll get 3 nodes, node number 1, node number 2, node number 3, right? So 2 elements, 3 nodes, okay? So as you can see, every node can move in vertical direction. Let this be V1, let this be V2, and let this be V3, okay? V1, V2, V3. At the same time, every node will have some, see, V1, V2, V3, they are the linear displacements, right? Similarly, we will have some angular displacements, and those are theta 1, theta 2, and theta 3. Theta 1, theta 2, and theta. So these are the angular displacements. Okay. So see, every node will have 2 degrees of freedom. Okay. So what we'll do, we'll call this as 1, 2, and this will have 3, 4, and this will have 5, 6. Try to understand. So this diagram will remain same irrespective of any problem. Right. So V1, V2, V3, they are the linear displacements. Theta 1, theta 2, theta 3, they are the angular displacements. Node 1 will have 2 degrees of freedom, that is V1, theta 1, indicated by 1, 2. Node 2 will have 2 degrees of freedom, V2 and theta 2, that is indicated by 3 and 4. Node 3 will have 2 degrees of freedom, V3 and theta 3, that are indicated by 5 and 6. Right? Yes or no? Now see, we need to first check with the units. We need to first check with the units. Right? So what are the units? See, E, okay, E was given.
Gigapascal.
E is in gigapascal. Okay, I it is given in mm raised to power 4. Okay, L it is given, length is given in meter. And force is given in kilonewton per meter, right? So let us check for the units. Okay, then we can proceed. See what possibility we can work out. What possibility we can work out. See, if we keep E in yeah, how it is same. If E is in gigapascal, we keep it in gigapascal. I it is in mm raised to power 4. We keep it in mm raised to power 4 only. No. Mm raised to power 4 only. This meter, then we need to convert into mm. Mm. Okay. And this kilonewton per meter, we need to convert into kilonewton per mm. Mm. Right? Kilonewton per mm. Otherwise, there is also one more possibility. Okay. What we can do here is, okay, this gigapascal, E which is in gigapascal, we can convert into pascal. I don't understand. E which is in gigapascal, will convert into pascal. I which is in mm raised to power 4, we will convert into meter raised to power 4. Length which is in meter, we will keep it in meter only. And the force which is in kilonewton, we will convert into newton per meter. Okay. So this way also we can do. This we exercise for the last problem. Same we exercised for the last problem. Is it okay? Is it okay or not?
Okay.
Yeah. So see, all of you, what we need to do is we need to form the, I will just briefly explain you. We need to form the element stiffness matrices for element number 1. We will get some value. We need to form the element stiffness matrices for element number 2. We will get some value. Once we got that, we need to form the global stiffness matrix. Okay, so there are 6 nodes. Okay, there are 6 nodes. See, element stiffness matrix for element number 1, element stiffness matrix for element number 2. Then we should form the global stiffness matrix, and its size will be 6 by 6. Right? Its size will be 6 by 6. Right? Now, once we have the global stiffness matrices, right? Okay. Now we need to convert this uniformly distributed load into point load. Try to understand. I'm just trying to simplify it. Okay, this is a uniformly distributed load. Now I'm supposed to convert into point loads. So I'll just draw the same diagram here. Node number 1, node number 2, and node number 3. Okay, node number 1, 2, 3. Right. So see, this 12 kilonewton, okay, 12 kilonewton, we need to convert this into Newton, right? So 12 kilonewton, it means it's 12,000 Newton, right? 12,000 Newton. So 12,000 Newton when it will act on 1 meter. 12,000 Newton when it will act on 1 meter, so it becomes 12,000 into 1. So that is nothing but 12,000. So what will happen out of that 12,000? Okay, 6,000 will go here. If you need to go by formula, I will do that. So QL by 2, QL by 2. So it is equal to Q is 12,000, Q is 12,000 into length is 1 meter upon 2, upon 2. So this is nothing but 6,000. So this is nothing but 6,000 Newton, 6,000 Newton. Okay. Similarly, you will have some same force here, right? See, you can see 12 kilonewton per meter. That means 12,000 Newton per meter. 12,000 Newton per meter. When it acts on 1 meter, it becomes 12,000. Out of that 12,000, 6,000 will go to one node, 6,000 will go to another node. Right? So here also I'll mention QL by 2. So it is equal to 12,000 into 1 by 2. So it is again 6,000. 6,000. Right. Next. Okay, we need to also have the movement. Okay, so what we used to do, we used to take one movement in clockwise, and in order to balance that movement, we used to take another movement in anti-clockwise. Right? We used to take another movement in anti-clockwise. Right? So let us take. Okay, let us take this movement in clockwise. In order to balance that, let us take one movement in anti-clockwise. Right? So this is the movement is given by QL square by 12. So Q is 12,000 into L square. Length is 1, right? 1 square divided by 12. So we'll get some value. Similarly, here QL square by 12. Okay. Q is 12,000. Length is 1 square divided by 12. So again, we will have some value here, right? So let that value will be calculated. Right. Now see, here we have this global stiffness matrices, right? Global stiffness matrices. Right? So what we need to do now? Okay, we need to write down the force matrix. Force matrix. Okay, so obviously it will be like this, right? So first one column you will have 6 rows, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 rows you will have. Okay, now see every node will have 2 degrees of freedom. Okay, so for node 1 it is 1, 2, for node 2 it is 3, 4, and for node 3 it's 5, 6. Okay, at node 1 and node 2 there is nothing. Okay, see at node number 1 where degrees of freedom are 1 and 2. Okay, there is nothing. So I will mention these as 0. See, there is no any movement, force, there is no any movement. So this is 0. Now when you go to node 2, you can see this 6,000. 6,000. See, this is 6,000 is acting downward. But if you see in this direction, it is going upward. This is downward, this is upward. So I need to take it as minus 6,000. Minus 6,000. Now come back to here. This is in anti-clockwise, right? This is in anti-clockwise. This is in clockwise. Okay, and what is the value you're getting? Okay, what you will get? You get this as 1,000, right? Yes or no? Right? This will get as 1,000 Newton meter. So see, this is in anti-clockwise. This is in clockwise. So this is minus 1,000. Next. Okay, go to here. This is in downward. This is in upward. So again, this is minus 6,000. Right? No, this is in anti-clockwise. This is again in anti-clockwise. Both are the same. So this is plus. So this is plus 1,000. Is it okay or not? Let me know. Is that okay? See, this is upward. This is downward. So this value is minus. This is anti-clockwise. This is clockwise. So this value is again minus. Then this is upward. This is downward. So this value is again minus. Then this is in anti-clockwise. This is again in anti-clockwise. So both these values plus. Is that okay? Is it okay or not? Let me know. Is that okay? Now how to solve? So how to solve such equation? Right? How to solve such equation? Right? Now we have already global stiffness matrices. Okay, I'll just write down here. Okay, global stiffness matrices. Okay. So here what we'll write down, I will just write down as a global stiffness matrices. Okay, multiplied by displacement. These are V or theta. Is given by force or movement. Force or movement. Right? So for global stiffness matrices, we will have it for 6 by 6. Okay, try to understand. This will be of 6 by 6. Okay, we'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 columns, 6 rows, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? So 6 rows, 6 column multiplied by what? Displacement. So what displacement when we have it? V1 theta 1, right? V2 theta 2. So V1 theta 1, V2 theta 2, and V3 theta 3. is equal to what? Forces and movements, right? So is equal to F1 M1, right? F2 M2, F3 and M3, right? So these are the forces and movements, right? So now see, forces and movement we have written, but these are the point loads, and this we haven't considered, right? So we'll combine these two, right? So in order to combine these two, okay, what I will do, see, I'll just combine this with this, right? So F1 plus 0, then M1 plus 0, F2 minus 6,000, this is M2 minus 1,000, F3 minus 6,000, M3 plus 1,000. You can see this I combine, right? This I have combined. Right, now we need to solve it. We need to solve it. So in order to solve, right, we should impose the boundary conditions. In order to solve, we should impose the boundary conditions. Which are the boundary condition? At node 1, the structure is fixed. Okay, so at node 1, structure is fixed. That means what? V1 is 0 as well as theta 1 is 0, right? You can see at node 1, structure is fixed. So V1 and theta 1 are 0. At node 2, we have roller. So there is no any vertical displacement. So V2 is 0. Similarly, at node 3, again there is roller, so there is no any vertical displacement. So V3 is 0, right? So no. So what happens? Then first row, first column gets cancelled. Second row, second column gets cancelled. The third row, third column gets cancelled. Similarly, what is that? Fifth row, fifth column gets cancelled. And here this fifth row and fifth column gets cancelled, right? Only this will happen. See, this will not be there. Right? So we'll have the system with 2 equations and 2 unknown, right? System with 2 equations and 2 unknown. Okay, so let me indicate this value. Okay, let this be A1, this is B1. Okay, let this be A2 and let this be B2. Okay, so we need to solve this equation with A1, B1 and M2, A2, B2 and M3, right? This we need to solve. Okay, so there you will have some value here, right? You will have some value, right? Is that okay or not? Let me know, is that okay or not? Okay, so when we will solve it, we'll get which value? We'll
Sir,
get the
next
value
meeting की ना link आ गई है, sir बुला रहे हैं.
theta 2. Okay, so once we have it, we'll calculate the value of theta 2 and theta 3. Then we will calculate reaction and further becomes. Is that okay now?
Sir,
Yes. I received your message. Yes.
okay sir, okay sir.
So can you solve this?
Yes sir, yes.
I just briefly explain you this problem. All of you can just solve this problem in detail at your
Okay
home.
sir.
Okay. In the next lecture, we'll be taking a somewhat different problem on analysis of it.
Sir, attendance link.